everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Brianna, this is Coffee, Books, and Bullet Journals, and today I have a book haul for you. Okay, so I have 17 books, I think, to go over with you. Now granted, almost half of them are Book of the Month, because I have 7 Book of the Month books from the last 2 months, because I think these showed up right after I did my last haul, so I didn't have them, or the January ones did. So anyways, that's neither here nor there. We will start with that first. I will put my Book of the Month affiliate code, referral code. I don't know what they're calling it now, because their affiliate system is all weird and whatever. Basically, if you click on that link, you get a book for $5 and I get a free book. So it works out perfectly and great, and I love it. So anyways, that being said, let's talk about them. The first one I picked up was The Sundown Motel by Simone St. James. I've heard some really good things about this book. I think it's historical-esque. 1982. Okay, yeah. So it's sort of historical. And then it's also present day, and there's a mystery or a haunting or something. I know very little about it, but I've also been told to go into it blind. So I'm really excited about it. I do want to pick it up pretty soon. Okay, the backlist book that I got in January was No Exit by Taylor Adams. I heard a lot of people talking about this over the past few months. My good friend Kylie just read it recently and couldn't stop talking about it. She was enthralled with it. And that's saying a lot for her, because she doesn't get super excited about a lot of books. So I knew I had to pick it up. This is about a woman who is traveling and gets stranded due to a big blizzard. And then when she goes into this hotel or diner or something, I don't know, she sees that this kid is trapped in a car, and nobody really knows what's going on, so we think that there's something sinister. I've heard it's very dark and very psychological, which is exactly what I like in thrillers. Alright, sorry if the angle changed. While filming with puppies is super cute, and they get real sweet and they sleep at your feet, then they feel the need to walk under your tripod and run away with said tripod. Anyways, as a Book of the Month BFF, which basically means that I have had, I think it's at least 12 boxes. So I've been subscribed to them since 2017. And so anyways, as a BFF, you get a free Book of the Year finalist. So one of those 6 books that they say it is the Book of the Year. And so because I already had the winner, I had already purchased that one, I went ahead and got one of the other finalists, and that was The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. Hope I'm saying that name right. I've heard it said so many different ways. But anyways, this is another psychological thriller about a woman who stabs or shoots, I don't remember, her husband multiple times, kills him, and then ends up going into a mental hospital because after that moment, she stops speaking for 6 years. And then this is about, I think it's about a journalist that comes in, or some sort of, I don't know. I should really probably be better at these book hauls. I don't know why you guys still are subscribed to me. Psychotherapist. That's what I meant to say. This psychotherapist comes in and basically wants to take on the case, wants to figure out why she's not talking, what happened, and I think it's going to be interesting. I've heard reviews literally all over the place for this. I've seen 5-star reads, and this has been on Best of Books, and I've also seen 1 and 2-star reads, so we'll see. Alright, and then I picked up a YA title for January, and I always like trying to pick up a YA title in my books, or in my monthly subscription, just because I have been reading a lot more YA recently. And I picked up Oasis by Katya de Becerra. I have no idea what this is about. I have no idea who this author is. Never heard of her before. I don't know if it's a debut. It doesn't say anything about it being a debut, so I'm not sure. But this is kind of a it's calling itself a supernatural thriller, but there definitely is like some dystopian, some paranormal in it. This is about a girl who's going to be going on an archaeological dig, and then there's a sandstorm that happens. They lose their camp, and then they find the oasis, which ends up becoming like this mirage, and they have to figure out what's real, what's not. Obviously there's going to be some sort of supernatural element into it. I love dystopian books. I love post-apocalyptic books because I watch a lot of like that as far as TV shows, like The 100 and things like that. I need to actually just read that book. I own that book. I just need to read it. That is the YA choice that I chose. So all of that was in January's box. Then moving on to February's box, I think everything was from February this time, which was kind of cool. So the first one that I picked up is You're Not Alone by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekkanen. I'm not as excited about this one as I was in Anonymous Girl. That one, because it had like a very psychological element to it. It was like literally a psychologist. This is about a case of like wishing the grass was greener kind of thing. Talks about like this one girl that wants to find love. It eludes her. She wants to be fulfilled. Her job's at a dead end. And then this other couple of girls that are basically they have everything that they could possibly want. It's just at their beckoning call. And I don't know if it's that they get switched. It talks about the fact that like she wishes that she had their life. They wish that she had her life. Like, they are very brief and very vague on their synopses, and I think they obviously do that for a reason, but it does intrigue me. While I haven't read The Wife Between Us, I know a lot of people really love that one, and An Anonymous Girl was a 5-star read for me, and one of my favorite thrillers of when did I read that? 2019, I guess? I didn't really do like a favorite thrillers, but that one definitely topped the list. Alright, then I picked up Yes, No, Maybe So by Becky Albertalli and Aisha Saeed. I actually have already read this one. I read this during Contemporary-a-thon. This is a young adult novel about two teens that kind of get roped into doing door-to-door canvassing for a local state senator. And at first they're doing it just because like their parents told them to, or they're going to get a car, or something. They're going to get something out of it. But then as they kind of do it, first off, they grow into a very, very strong friendship that becomes, more than that because it's a YA romance. But also, they really start figuring out that this is important and that what they're doing can actually fix something. And it was so cute and so good. I highly recommend this book, and I think that the two authors did a really good job together. And then the last one that I got in the month of February was Anna K by Jenny Lee, and I've been told that this is a Korean retelling of Anna Karenina. I don't know a lot about it, but Melanie from Melted Annie really, really loved it, or she hyped it up. I don't know. See, I'm really bad at this. I don't do hauls very well. I need to stop doing them. But anyways, it's a modern retelling, but a Korean retelling of it, and like I said, I have heard really good things about it, and so I'm excited to pick it up. Alright, another book that I have already read, and that is Tweet Cute by Emma Lord. I have an entire reading diary about it that I will link up there, and this was super, super cute, and it is about two teenagers, Pepper and Jack, and yes, those are their names, and they are the children of two restaurants, Pepper being the daughter of the owner of like a franchise owner, I guess, of a pretty big burger chain, and then Jack is the son of a family who owns this like local deli. And anyways, the burger joint puts out a grilled cheese that basically the deli is saying that they stole. So there's this Twitter war. It's cute. It's cheesy. See there? But yeah, I highly recommend it. Like I said, I have an entire reading blog, so I'm not going to go into a whole lot of it there. You've heard me talk about it quite a bit on this channel. Alright, I did get one book on Amazon just because it was on like a super cheap sale. I was already getting something, and so I just kind of added this to my cart because it was saying like, hey, by the way, this thing on your wish list is like $4 right now. So that is Fumbled by Alexa Martin. This is the second book in the Intercepted. I don't know what the actual thing is called, but it's like football romances. And I read Intercepted last year, really, really enjoyed it. And then I read Blitzed as an arc and really, really loved it, but I didn't have this one. And so I wanted to pick it up. And it was, like I said, it was a very good deal on Amazon. So I went ahead and picked that one up. I wanted to read it during Contemporary-a-thon, but I didn't get to it. So, we'll just have to see when we get to it. The last one before I go to my Goodwill and like thrift store finds. I did get a gift from Paige Squared, and I will leave her either Twitter or YouTube down below. And I don't know why I got this, but thank you so much. And that is Prince Charming by Rachel Hawkins. And this is I don't know if it's YA. Yeah, 16. So she's a YA, or it is YA. And it's a royalty romance, which I absolutely love. It is one of my favorite tropes as far as contemporary books are concerned, especially romance. And I think this has to do with this girl's like sister becomes royalty somehow, and then like her life gets changed upside down for it. I'm sure she's going to meet somebody. We'll see. Moving on to my thrift store finds. These ones I tend to pick up a little bit more random books. The first one I got was Uprooted by Naomi Novik. I don't know if I'm gonna like this one because I've heard some people really don't like her writing style, but we'll see. I mean, I read a couple pages of it in the store, and it didn't seem to bother me that much. So I don't know. I'm kind of excited about it. But this is like dark fairy tales, I think, and I'm watching Once Upon a Time right now, so I'm kind of like really into fairy tales right now. And I don't know, maybe I don't know, we'll see when I pick it up. But like I said, a little bit random and out of the box. I also picked up a thriller, An Unwanted Guest by Shri Lapina. I'm gonna have to do some work getting these labels off. I have somewhere The Couple Next Door by Shri Lapina, and this was I think it was like a 3.5-star book. It wasn't like huge and great and amazing, but I've heard also a lot of people talk about this one as well. And I think this one has like, the locked in trope and, small cabin in the woods kind of a vibe going for it. And I'm here for that. Okay, the next one is probably the farthest out of the box and out of my comfort zone that I have on this list. But I heard Sarah from Sarah's Nightstand talking about this one, at least a year ago, if not more, but that it was one of her favorite books that she had ever read, and I'd kind of sort of been on the lookout for it ever since, and when I found it, I was like, oh, I have to pick this up. It was $1. It's historical fiction that takes place in Depression era. It's like, it spans from the 1930s to the 1950s, so like the whole basically span of the Depression into World War II, all of that. But it's not about World War II. It's actually about a circus, and that is the life she was given by Eileen Marie Wiseman. And this is about a girl who is sold to a circus, and it doesn't say anything in the synopsis about it, but I think it's because she is an albino, if I remember correctly. But there are elephants in here, and I love elephants, and those are main characters. They're in the synopsis, so I'm excited to read it because I think that the story is going to be amazing. But it is historical fiction. I don't read a lot of that, and then as I look at the text, it's those ones that have the really big paragraphs. So we'll see, and also has deckled edges. And I know I'm being super picky about that at this point, but, it is a thing. But I am excited to pick it up. Sarah highly, highly recommends it. It's one of her favorite books of all time, and I want to give it a try. We don't share a lot of similarities, especially in the historical fiction, because I don't read historical fiction. But I'm willing to give this one a try. Alright, and then I did pick up another copy of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets because I lent mine out and I don't have one now. Well, I do, but it's the Hufflepuff edition. I don't have one of these. I'm looking for the hardcovers of them because 1 through 5 of mine are paperback, and so I'm wanting to get them all in hardback, but for now I want to at least have the whole set. And I was missing 1 and 2. Because sometimes that's what happens when you loan books out. Then I picked up, and this one is a little bit of a controversy because I know a lot of people recently read it for one of the big booktubers book clubs and didn't like it at all. But that is Unwind by Neal Shusterman. This is about basically the fact that you as a child, you can unwind someone's DNA and then basically not like save it for something else. Basically, between the ages of 13 and 18, the child's DNA can be like unwound, and the organs can be used in other people. So there's obviously probably going to be like a very like commentary on classism. Neal Shusterman does a good job of, well, I say that he does a job of talking about classism and just any type of political commentary in his books. He did great in Scythe and Thunderhead. Watch my vlog, see how I have thought about The Toll, if you don't already know about that. Anyways, we'll see how this goes. It's not a very long book. And again, dystopian type books where like the world is similar but not exactly the same as ours because of some either technological marvel or medical thing. They intrigue me and I enjoy them. So we'll see how this one does. But I got that one before I finished The Toll, and now I'm a little bit worried. Anyways, I got 2 middle grade. Well, technically I got more than 2 middle grade books, but I'm only showing you 2. I am doing a secret TBR that some of those books are in. Like I hauled, but I don't want to like talk about them on this one because then you'll know what I'm doing for the TBR. Anyways, but I will talk to you about 2 of them. I did pick up Molly's Story by W. Bruce Cameron. This is kind of like a middle grade spinoff of A Dog's Purpose, talking like more in depth about the certain like the individual lives of the dogs, because in The Dog's Purpose, basically the dog can die and then it is reborn as the same dog mentally, but obviously it's named something different, it's a different owner, different dog, but mentally it's the same dog. So fascinating concept. And he does middle grade versions of them, like the individual dogs. I think I have Ellie's story possibly, but I don't remember which dog that is. I think that one's the police dog. This is Molly is the first dog in, I think the first or second dog in A Dog's Promise, which is the sequel, and probably the one I fell in love with the most. So I'm excited to pick this one up. And it's probably one of those ones that I pick up during middle grade March, but not as one that's like going to be in my official TBR. But I am going to try to read as many middle grade books as I can next month. And then the next one I picked up, because I've never seen it in a thrift store or anything like that, but I've heard obviously a lot of people talk about it, Books and Lala, people like that, and that's Stargirl by Jerry Spinelli. And I know that this is becoming a movie, so I thought I would read the book before I watch the movie. There you go. But this is a book about actually a boy, not Stargirl, who I think like kind of falls in love with this Stargirl, who is this kind of mysterious, elusive girl. In the movie, Grace VanderWaal is playing Stargirl, and I love Grace VanderWaal. She's so precious. So I'm excited to pick this one up. Those are the 17 books that I'm going to show you that I hauled. Like I said, there was like 4 more that I'm planning on reading as part of that secret TBR. But that is all I have for you today. If you're new here and you have not yet subscribed, there's a little red button that you can do so down below the video, and all of the links to my social media will be in the description below if you would like to be my friend on any other platform. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye. What makes this heart beat faster?